Good morning, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Fazia Alvi from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This is October 30th. I'm standing in a refugee camp in Bangladesh, Jamtuli refugee camp, and my colleagues are here.
Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Samina Ashraf Bajwa. I'm a family physician and I am from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Good morning, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Fiza Rafiq. I'm a family physician from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
So our journey started not that long ago, actually just a week ago before we came here, when Mr. Shaukat from ICNA Relief Canada visited us on a dinner in our home. We started talking about Rohingya crisis in Bangladesh. I knew that he visited recently Bangladesh in the refugee camps. Until then, my information about Rohingya community, this minority community, was very limited. We knew about the crisis, we were raising funds for it, we were asking people for prayer and living a luxury life in Canada thinking that our job is done. After talking with Mr. Shaukat, I had a chance to get first-hand information about this crisis, and all of a sudden, like in a click, I decided to come here. I did not know that any of my friends will join me, so I thought to give them a shout. But two of my friends, Dr. Fiza Rafiq and Dr. Smina Bajwa, decided to come, and that's how we are here today.
I was really leading my normal life. I was expecting about 45 guests my home next day at lunch and I was cooking food when I got the phone call from my friend Fozia. And she mentioned that she has met Mr. Shaukat, and after listening to all the situation about Rohingya people, we should personally go and help those people. Yes, we were thinking that just by raising the funds and feeling sorry for those people is enough, but of course it was not enough. And in a moment, really, my heart beat fast, and I just said yes to the call. But of course, I had to speak to my family and my husband about it. He had rightfully some reservations about security, about the logistics of the travel, and how we are going to schedule all the appointments, what's going to happen to the children. And like, thanks God, like the same day, all of the fear and insecurities were overcome by the love for the humanity, love for all these kids and women who are suffering, and our duty as the doctors to help the humanity. And when we landed here in Bangladesh, it was all yes, we are here for a purpose, and the determination was that we are going to make the world aware what is happening with these people, with these sisters and brothers, and how we can help them from the medical point of view. And now,
Assalamu alaikum. I am very humbled and feel very blessed to be with these two very dear friends. That we know Rohingya crisis going on, and 2 years ago we raised so many funds for them in Ramadan. And at that time, Dr. Fozia was talking to me, and we were like feeling so sad for them. We wanted to do something for our Muslim Rohingya people. We found ourselves very helpless. We couldn't do much but to raise funds, ask for prayers in congregations, asking our friends to go for prayers, give donations as much as they can. And for the last 2 years, this was going down and down. And in the last 2 weeks, when everybody was raising funds, I was asking my husband that we have to raise funds for Rohingya. He said, yes, I will give fund in the masjid. I will give fund in that masjid. But my heart was still in pain. I was feeling, no, I'm not doing enough. This is not enough to tell people to pray. Yes, prayers are heard. And somebody's prayer is going to be heard one day, inshallah. And my heart was still like, I'm not feeling good. And on a Saturday, I was sitting and I was talking to my God, and I said, I'm not doing enough. This is not my life. I should do something more. My life is not like this. And on the same night, Dr. Fozia is calling me, and she just said, all out of nowhere, she's asking, Fiza, you want to come with me? We are going to Bangladesh to help Rohingya people. And without even a second thought, I said, yes, I have to go. I didn't ask anybody. Then I went downstairs, asked my husband. I thought maybe he will say, are you crazy? Where you want to go? What part of the world is this? It's not safe. But he didn't even say no, and he said, yes, you can go. I asked my mom, and I was scared in my heart that she will say no. My mom, I'm so proud of her. She said, no, this is the way the humanity should work. I'm so proud of you, my daughter. You should go. So I had no excuse not to come here. And I'm blessed and I'm humbled that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought all three of us here. We saw them. We love them. We love them from the bottom of our heart. We promise them that we will give their message to this world, and that's why we are here.
So when we landed here, the very next day we came to visit the medical camps, and we went to Hakimpura medical camp, and next day we visited Jamtuli camp as well. And majority of the patients I saw here were all these children. Like I saw children from ages of literally 1 month to these 11, 12 years old. Being a mother, I know what a mom feels if your child even does not eat food properly for one time. And here I see these literally hundreds and thousands of children who are malnourished. I never knew that in 2017, in this part of the world, malnutrition can be so prevalent. It is literally a shame for all of us. Those little children with pot bellies and literally toothpick-like legs, and they have to carry 18-kilo packs of the ration, and then they're falling, is not acceptable for all of us in this world. We have to help them. Their moms walked for 2 weeks in the jungles when they were pregnant with them. They give birth to them in jungles. They have no food to eat. They don't have breast milk. These kids have nothing to eat. They need very badly all the formula milk, all the meal nutrition supplies like the Horlicks or Pediasure, so that we can really, at least the basic necessity of their life, food, the good quality food should be available to them. The other thing which I really saw very prevalent is the respiratory sickness. I'm practicing for 18 years. I have never seen so many pneumonia patients in 18 years as I saw in this week here. Every other child is coughing and has pneumonia. And literally, I won't be surprised if 30 or 40% of them end up having TB given the circumstances which is happening nowadays here. The other thing is the vaccination. Like I have heard that Bengalese government gave them the vaccinations, but given the influx of the children every day, we have to protect them from the other infections happening, and there should be some mass vaccination program to protect these children. There was so much conjunctivitis going on when I was walking in the camps. Every other child has literally conjunctivitis and the green discharge coming. All it takes is one child because there is so much congestion. And what are they doing? Running and playing around together and spreading the infections. That is another high area of the need. And this coughing is, like you can hear in the background, so common. Clothing, I really feel, is the basic fundamental right of all us the human beings. So many naked children. We have to realize that all of these children belong from the Muslim families where covering your body is the basic fundamental. I mean, everybody covers, but for them it's the religious thing too. But when you don't have finances, you don't have resources, like so many naked children, I think it is our right to provide them with the dresses and the clothing as well. Another big area of need which I realized here is the mental health. We have to realize that the age 1, 2, 3, and 4, what they have seen, they have witnessed their fathers being gunshot by the military. They have seen their families and homes being burned. They have seen their fathers thrown into the burning fire. They have seen their moms getting raped. So we really need an emergency mental health rehab program so that we have this innocent flowers and the generation not growing into the troubled older adults, but very fine human beings who could be productive for the society. We have to prevent it here, otherwise all of us should be ready for the huge catastrophic event. So I will highly recommend all of them need counseling and mental rehab. But you know what is amazing? What brought tears to my eyes? Those children can still smile. There is aggression, there is sorrow in those eyes, but then there are many who have smiles in their eyes, and we have to preserve those smiles. We have to preserve those smiles. Even one word of Assalamu alaikum can make them happy. One little gesture of happiness or a hand on their head can really give them the smile. They see the camera crews, they start smiling. Let's preserve those smiles for these children.
I
I'm here, mother of 4 children myself. I know what motherhood is. I know how you feel for your children. I know how you see your world through the eyes of your children. And I know how it feels like when you can't provide them anything. You feel so helpless. I have worked in the rural areas of Pakistan. God has given me an opportunity not only to work in the rural areas, also in the bigger cities like Lahore. And I worked in South Africa, and I have seen many, many women because my area of expertise is to work in gynecology and obstetrics. I have seen many women in my work, but I would say I have seen nothing like this in my last 2 to 3 days. What these women are going through, these women are coming from a stone age. They don't know what their rights are. They don't know that they're human beings, how they should be treated. This is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking for all of us. We all are ambassadors of humanity. We carry flags in our hearts that we love humanity. We have I work in Canada and Canada for the last maybe 15, 16 years. And when we see our women, we have so many things available for them. Prenatal is a big thing. When a woman gets pregnant in Canada, we have prenatal visits. We have everything for them. Investigations. We provide them with vitamins. Here, when we came to these camps, it was heartbreaking. I have seen many, many women in the last 3 days. Ages from 16 to 35. They are pregnant, but they're not talking about their pregnancy. They're coming with little kids in their laps. And by the way, when we ask them, are you pregnant? Yes, some of them they're 4 months pregnant, some of them they're 6 months pregnant, some of them they're even 9 months pregnant, but they don't know that there is any kind of prenatal checkups. When we tell them that yes, you need a prenatal exam, they look at us with blank eyes, that they don't know what we are talking about. What kind of this world is? Where are they coming from? Where were they kept? This is the story of many, almost every woman here. They brought to us, they have a big plate. In that plate, they're carrying years of torture. In their eyes, we can see that. Terrors, torture, trauma, physical abuse, days of hunger with no food, no water. They have traveled with carrying kids in their wombs and 2 or 3 kids in their arms with no food, no hunger in the jungles. 14 days of traveling, and some of them they delivered there in no circumstances. They delivered their babies, they had nothing to eat. Like back home, when a mother gives a birth, she's like a special person of the family. She's not supposed to work, and for 40 days she has nothing to do except that eat healthy food. And here they were in the jungles, they gave birth, and they were eating banana leaves. Can you imagine? What kind of world is this? And what kind of human beings we are that we never reached to them? This is a big blessing for all of us that we are sitting here among them, and we can give this message to the world that these women are human beings. We should treat them as human beings. We should give them basic human rights. In our medical camps, I saw the women with malnutrition. Everybody has anemia. They're malnourished. They have mental trauma. They have depression. They have stress. Their day-to-day activity is just to look for food so they can survive. They don't have any basic clothing, and in their eyes you can just see fear, and they don't know what their future is. Many of them, they have lost their husbands because most of the villages, they cut their husbands in front of their eyes, and no man was alive. They came here alone, all by themselves. These women, they not only need medical help, they need medical counseling, psychological counseling. They need all kind of help, multivitamins, iron. They need TB screening because most of them they are coughing. No access for TB vaccination. They need basic vaccination of tetanus, diphtheria. They need everything. They need everything. All of our lives we have heard that give me a healthy woman, I'll give you a healthy nation. So we have to actually educate these women. If we will educate one woman, we are actually educating one whole family and one whole nation. So the main, when we came here in the camps, there is no access for these pregnant women, especially to go and seek for antenatal checkups. We saw so many term pregnancies, and there was no transport available for them. If they get pregnant, if they go into labor at night, they don't have any access to go to the hospitals and get any medical help. We didn't have enough examination tables. We didn't have any fetoscopes, and we didn't have any enough food to give it to them. So these are the basic things they need. But besides medical needs, they need medical counseling, they need psychological counseling, hygiene counseling, and this is the main part that we need to work on these women. So our heart goes for them, and we pray that this world will come forward and help all of these needy women.
So there are about 12 camps, and there are about 70,000 registered people in each camp. But there are lots of unregistered people here. Actually, people are arriving every day, and they are lacking medical facilities. They don't know where the medical camps are because most of the medical camps are closed. While working in the medical camps, I have seen that there is a acute shortage of all the basic medicines that we need. We have seen lots of asthma people with acute shortness of breath. There were no inhalers besides the basic Ventolin, salbutamol inhaler that we give it only for acute shortness of breath. There are no other expensive inhalers. So I asked the doctors there that why we are not having inhalers. I have not worked in an office or where I cannot write down the basic inhalers for the respiratory problem, respiratory distress. I was told that the basic inhaler are very expensive. The medications are very expensive. We went to a local pharmacy actually, and we found out that one inhaler that every asthma people needs is about $10 here. Those local small poor organizations, they cannot afford it. We need to have basic medication to treat all the illnesses including tuberculosis, asthma, respiratory illnesses, pregnant women, as well as we need some basic X-ray facilities and basic laboratory workup. I have seen lots of people that with pyelonephritis, like acute urinary tract infections, I could not dip their urine even, just to see if they have infections. Lots of people with fever, lots of people with malnutrition, I could not order their blood work for it. We have heard during our stay here lots of stories from almost every patient. Every patient had their own tale of stories. Story of horror, severe barbarity, the trauma that these small children, all of them, they have witnessed the trauma and horror that nobody should ever witness in their life. Nobody should ever experience. 100% of them are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. We need to have the psychological counseling just to heal their wound. Their personalities are scarred.
What I really want to say is that all these children, I want to say to the whole world, all of these children are our children. They are not Rohingya children. They are our children. We owe them the responsibility. We want to make sure that they have the access to the clean water, access to the vaccinations, access to the food, access to the shelter, access to the clothing, access to the nice, nurturing, caring family unit environment. Let's all of that make sure in 2017 that we have taken care for all of them. And these children have the right for the ownership that they belong to the planet Earth and they belong to us, and they can live wherever they want with peace.
So visiting different camps and different small tents, like these bamboo tents, we saw that everybody has a story, and we promised them that we will carry their message to this world, and we are inshallah going to give this message to the whole world on behalf of us, all three doctors. And the basic message that we got from them for the rest of the world is
Basic human rights,
justice
and peace.
I'm Dr. Fawzia Alveer from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'm here with ICNA Relief Medical Mission for Rohingya refugees. While working in the past few days here in the medical camps, first of all, there are not enough doctors. I have seen only 3 doctors, one in the MSF camp and 2 here in the CIMCH camp and the Small Kindness Collaboration medical camps there. I have been told that none of the doctors wants to come here and see these traumatized patients. They have suffered trauma for a long, long time. So nobody wants to deal with these patients. I'm requesting all of my medical community, all the doctors from all over the world to come forward. If all of us can donate like maybe 1 week, if not a month, the whole month, to come forward to help these young doctors, because they need our help. They need our help from all over the world. There's a lot of very complex patients with different medical needs, and it's hard for them. So while my visit here, I met Dr. Musliuddin. He's working here since the crisis began about 2 months ago. He was volunteering his time before. He met with CIMCH people, and now he's working here every day. The medical camps runs from 9 o'clock until 5 p.m. and there are a long line of patients. People wait for hours to see him, and I'm very impressed by his dedicated work that he's doing it for this Rohingya community. So I will hand over to Dr. Musliuddin, and he can brief us a little bit what he has seen in the last 2 months since the crisis began.
Thank you, Dr. Fozia. Actually, as she told you that I have been working here for last 2 months, and still we have a lot of experiences. We have a lot of stories picked up actually incidentally from the people, those who are coming to us as for the treatment purpose. But still, we just want to emphasis on the medical services as we are doing that. Here, a lot of health problems are here prevailing. Say, for example, especially if we need the patient to refer to the tertiary hospital, then the reference system here is a bit complicated. Here, there's some official red tape. I can share some experiences to you. 1 month back, I refer a tuberculosis patient. He was previously diagnosed and he was on anti-tubercular drugs. But when he just came here, he discontinued the medication. So I referred him to collect the anti-tubercular drugs. But he went to the Cox's Bazar Medical College Hospital, but he came back with empty hand. The authority of the hospital could not help him for their official write-up. They want from him the Rohingya cards because they are newly coming. They do not have. They are newly coming, they do not have the Rohingya card. Still, they cannot collect it. That's why they could not get the tertiary health facilities. Here, the main problem is we can just keep the primary healthcare facilities, especially especially those the women, those who are pregnant. For emergency obstetric care, there's no facility, very few facilities here, and especially after 4 or 5 p.m., there are no referral system is very much difficult, and the transport here is very unavailable. So we cannot refer the patient, and all the medical team and services have to close their service, have to close their hospital and facilities within 5 p.m. and only very few are allowed. So, and due to lack of transport and the facilities, people cannot be, especially the pregnant women cannot. We cannot give them the emergency obstetric care. So, very important is to establish a complete, fully formed hospital with the diagnostic facilities, with a complete operation theater. This is very much needed. Here we cannot give this sort of services. Thank you.
So I have been told that the women's, it's a law of nature, it's a rule of nature that the women's babies are born at night time. So apparently after 5 o'clock, nobody is allowed to leave the camp. There is no transport if the women are in labor. There is a recent death of a woman died of hemorrhage because all the women are being delivered here in the tents. The women have limited access to the hospital. We are thankful to Bangladesh government. At least they have allowed them to enter into their land and they are staying here. They are getting food at least. So, but we need more help from the international community, from the other doctors. We need ambulances, we need a referral system, we need to have a field hospital. If somebody is needed an emergency surgery, if women's needed a C-section, they need to have access there.